Okay, guys, so this is like an add-on to my leaving my 9 to 5 for my full-time entrepreneurship. And I kind of recorded it, but I don't know what happened. I somehow deleted it mistakenly. So anyway, I'm gonna try to re-record it and kind of remembering what I was talking about when I made the first one. So anyhow, I was just kind of thinking about some of the things that I shared in the first video, and just about how when I went off to college, I thought I knew absolutely what I was going to be doing. Initially, I went to college thinking that I'm going to go to law school because that's what I've been saying that I was going to do ever since I was a little girl. I'm going to be a lawyer when I grow up. I want to be an attorney, so I go to school, go to Southeastern, and of course I'm so confused as to what I'm going to do because I'm an undecided student for so long. So I finally ended up graduating, get my bachelor's degree, and then I decided at some point that I want to go to nursing school. So I go and enroll in nursing school, and there I am. And because I have kids and, my children are small, I then have to make the decision of leaving nursing school and not finishing it. So there I am in the world trying to find jobs and just going from place to place to place. Like I work at the AT&T, then I end up getting a job in post-acute medical, doing medical records for quite some time. And so it was just like I was all over the place. Had no clue what I wanted to do, but I knew I was unhappy in whatever it was doing because it was not what I wanted to be doing. And I decided that I want to be a flight attendant. My dream job was always to be a flight attendant. And so Justin was like, you know what, y'all, I can tell you one thing. I had a husband that was so supportive in every single thing that I came to him about. I told him I want to be a flight attendant. So he was like, babe, if you want to be a flight attendant, go be a flight attendant. That's what's going to make you happy. Go do it. And honestly, I loved it because I love to travel. I absolutely loved it. Loved it. But it didn't work for our lives because he also traveled a lot, was always gone and always on the road. And so both of us not being at home doesn't work because we have children. So somebody has to be at home to take care of the family. And like he said, I can't be at home because you doing this and you ain't making no money doing it. And so somebody got to come home, and you need to find a job doing something. So that's why I ended up started doing the lashes because that was kind of like something I could be at home doing and making a little money or whatever like that. If you ever decide that you want to be a flight attendant, let me just give you a heads up. Flight attendants don't really make any money. You have to be a flight attendant for years and years and years. Like, the flight attendants with Delta and Southwest and American that have been there for years, they make money. But starting out as a flight attendant, yeah, they say you get paid like $20 to $22 an hour. But let me tell you how that works. Flight attendants only get paid when the doors of the plane close. And so let me explain that to you. So you get up in the morning and they tell you your report time is 6 o'clock in the morning. So that means that's what time you have to report to basically your check-in, your home base or whatever. So if you're, let's say you fly out of Houston, Texas or whatever like that. So your home base is Houston. So that means you have to report to the airport at 6 o'clock a.m. But just because that's what time you report, does not mean that's what you're getting paid for. So you report at 6 o'clock, you go on the plane, you're preparing your plane, you're checking all your equipment, you're getting all your stuff ready for your passengers to get on. You're not getting paid for that. Your passengers come on and they're boarding the plane. Hi, how are you doing, ma'am? It's a great day to fly with Southwest. How are you doing today? It's a great day to fly with Delta. All these people are loading on the plane. Guess what? That door isn't closed, so you're still not getting paid. You get paid when you hear that sign. When you hear the flight attendants, when you're flying, the next time you hear the flight attendants say, "Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure." Cross checking all call. That's boom. That's when the flight attendant starts getting paid. Okay, plane backs off the jetway, they're whatever, they're taxiing in and getting up in the air. Flight attendants getting paid. So that little 45-minute or 2-hour flight, that's what the flight attendant is getting paid for. All that other time of being nice to passengers and smiling and, hi, thank you for flying with Delta today. They're not getting paid for that. So just remember that the next time you're flying. I just thought I'd throw that out there. So if you want to be a flight attendant, it's a wonderful job, wonderful opportunity to fly, so on and therefore. But just know that flight attendants are not getting paid for all that extra time that they're on the ground doing other stuff. They don't get paid unless the doors are closed on the plane. That's pretty much how it is. So that means you have to fly a lot of hours to make a lot of money. That means that you're pretty much having to be gone. I'm going to say probably I flew 1 month, maybe like 130 hours, which that's 130 hours in the month. So I got paid $22 an hour for 130 hours, which probably averages about $2,000 or something like that, maybe 2,800 or something, somewhere around that. I'm not calculating off the top of my head, but I'm just kind of just telling you that's kind of what it is. So you don't make a whole lot of money being a flight attendant, but it's a fun job. It's a great job. You get to travel for free. Basically you can go jump on other airlines, flights, and things like that and fly. That's a perk of being a flight attendant. That's one perk. So if you have a family, you have people depending on you, things like that, no, you're not making a lot of money being a flight attendant. That's why most flight attendants, stay in crash pads, or they, share apartments and things with other people, because they don't make a whole lot of money to pay for all these other expenses or whatever. So that's just throwing that out there. So anyway, but that was my dream job. So my husband allowed me the opportunity to do that. I'm very thankful for it, the experience. When I get older, hopefully I can do that again, because I would love the perks of just being able to fly, because that's a great perk of being a flight attendant. But so I went back to nursing school after I graduated from Southeastern, or went back to nursing school again after my husband passed away, because I just figured, like, what the hell, I'm on my own now. A lot is going to be on me. I'll have to do this myself. So let me go and get into a career field that I know that I'll be able to take care of me and my children. So I was like, let me go back to nursing school. But I knew that's not truly, like, I was doing it, but I'm truly wanting to do that for the money, and not more so because that's what I want to do, because that's what I love to do. So therefore, the passion is not there. As I was saying in my last video, you have to do whatever it is you're doing because you're passionate about doing it, or else it's just going to be another thing that you're just going to do, and you're going to be unhappy with getting up in the morning and doing it. I truly find happiness in what I do, because right now, like, I know that everything I'm doing it because it's mine. I find joy in creating this, and let me just make this clear. Entrepreneurship for me is not just about me and me growing a business and me becoming successful. Entrepreneurship for me is seeing others become entrepreneurs and do something great. I find myself often posting messages on Facebook and things about trade skills. I share with people all the time, like, especially for young men. There are jobs out there in plumbing and construction, welding, electricians, mechanics, refrigeration, heating, cool, all those jobs that are out there, all those skills that are out there that you can learn as a person and have your own business and be making your own money and not have to report to anyone. Those are things. And so when I'm in my mindset, I'm looking at things and I'm looking at what it is that I can tell someone, or how can I tell someone else how to become successful in their own business. There are so many, and it's kind of upsetting, because some of us have the mindset that if someone else is doing, then that means that that's something that we have to do. But there's so many other opportunities and so many other things that you can be doing as your own person. Like I mentioned a while back in a post about being a mobile notary a notary service, being a mobile window chip repair, having a locksmith service. How many times have you locked your keys in your car and you had to call someone out and that was $85, $95, or $100 for them to come out and pop your lock? That's a reputable business. That's a sustainable business. People are always doing that and always have to call someone out. And these people get to charge extra because they're coming out after hours or whatever the case may be, or you locked your keys and you can't get into your house or whatever the case may be. Those are sustainable businesses that we don't even think about, but they're there for us to learn how to do. And it's not a whole lot that goes into, starting these businesses that you could be doing and making money. So when I think about businesses, I know that the lash service may not be around forever. I know that clothing may not be a sustainable business, but the trucking business, that's going to be sustainable. People always need things transported. That's a given, So when I'm thinking about businesses and ideas for others and not just for myself, because I think about these things and I have friends that I'll tell, I feel like this will be a great business idea for you. Like, you should really think and look into this or whatever. These are things that I think about. I don't think about things that people are doing or, whatever like that. Yes, of course, it takes an investment. But if you're going to invest in something that's going to be sustainable and not something that's just going to be temporary. And that's going to think about things that people, that is something that's going to be in demand. When I started, I have utilized every business that I have. I've allowed myself to use that business to go into obtain another business. And ultimately that's going to be my, that's what I'm going to do from, from then on. Any business that I create and I start, I'm going to use that one as an opportunity to do something else as they grow. That's my plan. That's my goal. And also that's my goal is to get into maybe helping others to formulate a business plan and create something that's going to be sustainable and successful. So that's just my idea. When you think about, if you're ready to make the decision to say, I'm going to leave my 9 to 5. When you think about it and sit down and think about it and you're making that decision, know that whatever you're doing is going to be ultimately for you to go into a business that's going to be sustainable. That's going to be something that you can do. And it's going to be something that people are going to need. You want to be needed. If you're not needed, if it's not something then my advice to you is don't do it. Because it can be simply here today and gone tomorrow. Something that when you're needed, you are, that's what I used to tell my husband all the time. You're needed. Like, he's a welder. He's needed. Like, literally you can go and people are going to need you. Like, people need welders all the time, all day and night. People need welders. People need, truckers, CDLs. People need nurses all day and long. That's the thing. Do something that not only that you love, but something that's sustainable. And I wish I would have had that mindset when I went to college, because, I would have been more successful in college than, I got a bachelor's degree, but I don't use it. I can't use it really in anything. But now that I think about it, is I would have done something that I know where I would have been in college and I would have done it, and it would have been something that I could have been, it would have been a job where I know that I could have been needed. But ultimately, I'm okay with not using my degree, because ultimately I'm doing, as an entrepreneur, this is something I want to do and I love doing it. I love what I do. I love getting up and knowing that I'm growing something ultimately that's mine, and I'm helping someone else to have something that's going to be theirs, So I just want to say this to you guys. If you're considering becoming a full-time entrepreneur and leaving your 9 to 5, do it. But most importantly, think about that decision that you're making and know that it's the right decision for you and for your family. So I'll just say this. Thank you again for listening to me. Allow me to share with you guys. You have a great night. Talk to you soon.